Why angels are present at the return of Christ. When Jesus returns, he will not come quietly, he will not come alone, and he will not come unnoticed. Scripture reveals a breathtaking truth. The return of Christ will be accompanied by angels, multitudes of angels. Why? Why are angels present at Christ's return? What role do they play? What does their presence reveal about the authority, glory, and final victory of Jesus? Today, we uncover one of the most awe-inspiring scenes in all of Scripture, the moment when heaven and earth collide. Section 1. Jesus returns as king, not servant. At his first coming, Jesus arrived humbly, born in a manger laid in a feeding trough wrapped in humility attended by a small host of angels. But at his second coming, everything changes. He returns, as king, as judge, as conqueror, as Lord of heaven and earth, and kings do not return alone, they return with their armies. Section 2. Angels are the heavenly army of the King. Scripture repeatedly connects angels with Christ's return. Jesus himself said, "The Son of Man will come in his glory, and all the angels with him." Matthew 25:31. Angels are his attendants, his witnesses, his servants, his warriors, his heralds. They accompany him as visible proof that heaven stands fully behind the returning King. Section 3. Angels announce the return of Christ. Angels are often God's messengers, and the return of Christ is the greatest announcement yet to come. Scripture tells us, angels announce divine events, angels proclaim judgment and salvation, angels herald God's mighty acts at Christ's return. Trumpets sound, voices declare, heaven erupts, the return of Jesus will not be subtle. Angels ensure the world knows who has arrived. Section 4. Angels execute judgment at Christ's return. This is sobering, but biblical. Jesus taught that angels play a role in judgment, separating the righteous from the wicked, gathering the elect, removing evil, executing God's decrees. In Matthew 13, Jesus describes angels as harvesters who gather at the end of the age. Angels do not judge independently, they carry out the judgment of Christ himself. Section 5. Angels gather God's people. One of the most comforting roles of angels at Christ's return, they gather the redeemed. Jesus said, "He will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds." Matthew 24:31. This is not chaos. This is divine order. Angels assist in bringing God's people home, from every corner of the earth. Section 6. Angels witness the vindication of Christ. Angels witnessed Christ's humiliation, his suffering, his crucifixion, his rejection, but at his return they witness his glory, his authority, his power, his victory. The angels who watched him be mocked now watch him be exalted. The angels who saw him rejected now see him worshipped by all creation. Section 7. Angels stand against evil one, final time. The return of Christ marks the end of rebellion. Angels participate in the defeat of Satan, the binding of evil powers, the removal of wickedness, the restoration of God's order. Revelation shows angels actively involved in the final overthrow of evil. This is the final spiritual battle, and Christ wins. Section 8. Angels rejoice in the restoration of creation. Angels are not indifferent observers. They rejoice as justice is restored, evil is judged, righteousness reigns, Christ is glorified, God's kingdom is fully established. The return of Christ fulfills God's eternal plan. And angels rejoice in seeing it completed. Section 9. What this means for believers. The return of Christ is certain, heaven is fully prepared, angels stand ready, evil will not prevail, God's people will be gathered, Christ will reign. If angels accompany Jesus in glory, there is nothing uncertain about the outcome. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is anchored in heaven. Closing encouragement. One day soon, the skies will open. Jesus will return, not as a suffering servant, but as the victorious King. And with him will come the armies of heaven. Angels will stand in formation. Trumpets will sound. Justice will reign. Redemption will be complete. So lift your eyes. The same angels who announced his birth will witness his return, and when Christ comes again, heaven will not whisper, it will roar.